Sorry. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another chapter of my little black book. I'm your host, Evan from HIMediaTV. And I want to talk a little bit more about Iran. And specifically the stuff that they've got going on right now, or we've got going on right now in this conflict. So it was announced yesterday that 2,500 Marines are going to be deployed to Iran. So there are a couple theories about where we're going to be landing. There's a couple theories about what we're going to do. The ideal that I think that the administration wants to do is hold the Strait of Hormuz and allow for the flow of oil. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Listen, first of all, the fact that we have to do a opposing beach landing in 2026 is goofy. And not only is the idea of doing an opposed beach landing in 2026 goofy, the Strait of Hormuz, the effective amount of territory we would have to control for the Strait of Hormuz is almost 40 miles more than Normandy that we all have to hold. And a reminder that we are bleeding Tomahawk missiles and interceptors and all of these other, very expensive, very effective, but still, it's primarily because we don't make anything in this country anymore. All of our manufacturing is outsourced, and we just don't have a stockpile. A big way we were able to sort of in the aftermath of the end of the Afghanistan war, keep the war economy of America going was selling a lot of our stockpile to you, was basically, giving a lot of our stockpile as in aid in terms of weapons and vehicles and munitions to Ukraine, and then buying up contracts for new munitions to refill that stockpile from defense contractors. That's how we kept the war economy going without actually having to technically add another war to the wars we were doing. Here's the problem. The problem is that because we don't have any domestic manufacturing anymore, I think we only have one factory that makes missiles in this country, and the production is not high enough to be able to actually build at scale. We are now taking missiles from all over the world and our allies, including places like South Korea that got our early warning and missile defense things from for protection from North Korea. And here's the thing, South Korea buying those systems from us and taking those systems from us permanently fucked up their economic relationship with China. The economy of the South Korean economy lost billions of dollars as a result of that deal, but the leaders at the time decided it was worth it for the guaranteed protection of the citizens and infrastructure from North Korean, missile attacks. And so where that kind of fucking leaves us a little bit at this point is, hey, we are existing now in a time period where we are losing, favor and priority with a lot of our international allies and dumping all of our eggs into this giant Iranian basket. I need to remind everybody that the country of Iran is basically God's fortress. It is a ginormous, like, fort. It is surrounded on all sides by mountains, first of all. The internals of the country itself are themselves mountainous. And a reminder that the country of Iran has been preparing for the great Satan, America, to invade them for decades. Decades they've been preparing for this. It is the middle, if Oman diplomatically is the Middle Eastern Switzerland, like diplomatically, Iran is the Middle Eastern Switzerland in terms of like being a pain in the ass to invade. Like, what do I mean by that? Switzerland literally has demolition charges lined up to all of its infrastructure going in and out of the country. So if they're invaded, it makes it so the invading armies have to go through the goddamn mountainous regions of the Swiss Alps, which is hell, to do that. And like most of their adult citizens are rifle certified. And like the communities have like a community armory in which they can, like, adults can go get guns, practice whenever they feel like it, and then also get it in the case of like invasion. Like, Iran has been preparing for this for years. Like, they have such a large drone stockpile specifically for the purposes of of existing in this environment. They know good and how well that their continued bombing of oil tankers and things of that nature is going to lead to a gigantic pinch on the world economy, and that's going to affect American citizens' pocketbooks. And that's how people lose, and that's how administrations fall apart. Here's the bigger problem, though. The fact that we are going to be doing boots on the ground, I say all that to say, like, the fact that we're doing boots on the ground, like, I want to say for the record, only, like 11 to 14 American service members have been recorded as dead or missing in action. I think it's a lot more. And I think that the administration is lying about the numbers. They are pulling a Russia. Like, I want to be very clear that we are the bad guys in this situation. And the only reason we are doing this war, the only singular reason we're doing this war, is because Israel wants us to. And Donald Trump foolishly thinks that this will get the public, like, rah America, rally the public to his side. And my big thing is, I genuinely feel like we are going to continue this war until, because here's the thing, I genuinely do believe that the only reason this is happening is because of pressure from Israel and people like Lindsey Graham desperately wanting this. I don't know. For all American service members that might be listening to this, you don't be afraid to. Oh God! They said they might institute a draft, dude. If they institute a draft, oh my God, that's gonna be it. Here's the thing: I'm 28, so I'm like, I would be in like the second wave of draft picks if they needed it. But man, dude, I'll tell anybody, yo, frag your fucking CO. Literally. Oh, God, I hate it here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to this chapter of my little black book that is now closed. I appreciate your time and listenership. If you liked this episode, join our Discord community. It's a good community. Also, like, rate 5 stars wherever you get your pods, and like and subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Have a great rest of your day. This has been HIMediaTV. I've been your host, Evan from HIMediaTV, and I'll see you guys next time.